Hey everybody, it's your Uncle Bear. So I've been seeing a lot of places, a few places on social media. There's people out there that they want to not pay their taxes because of the fraud going on around the country with the Somali daycares and stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't blame them on the sentiment, and the reason that there is that sentiment is we the people are fed up with people. They found all this money. Doge found all this money back when Elon Musk was there. Now this, and there's politicians involved in all that Doge stuff. There's politicians involved in all this daycare fraud in Minnesota. It's in Minnesota, and I've heard about it out in Washington State, Ohio. I'm sure there's other places around the country that got money from the government on that, but it's taxpayer money. Why aren't people being held accountable? That's why people are pissed. That's why people are saying, I'm not paying my taxes. Okay, first off, to the people who are saying they don't want to pay their taxes, don't do that. Don't do that, because you're going to get in a world of shit. There's one organization on God's green earth that has no conscience, no heart, and they're just ruthless, and that's the IRS. Don't fuck around with the IRS, okay? Pay your taxes like you're supposed to. But to the politicians in Washington, right now, you guys are poised for the biggest midterm fucking crash in the Republican Party that you have ever seen. Here's what I'm thinking. When we go to vote for the midterms, put none of the above. I don't give a shit what party you're in or anything. Every one of these fucking politicians is crooked. They're so goddamn crooked, when they die, you're going to have to screw them in the ground. They're crooked. It's just getting ridiculous. And like I say, nobody's being held accountable for any of this shit. None of them. And that's not right. It's just not right. Gen X and baby boomers, we've been working all our lives. 40 plus years, every one of us. 40 plus years we've been out here. The generation after Gen X, I don't know who that is. I can't keep track of all the letters and boomers and all this shit. But they've been working 20, 30 years, so it's like, we paid our taxes. We're generous. As a society, we're generous. We help our people. We're more than happy to help somebody get a leg up, right? Not support them forever, but to give them a helping hand until they can get back on their feet and do their own thing. So we have no problem with our tax money helping a young mother pay for daycare, helping a young mother to feed her child and feed herself until she's able to go back to work. But the shit that's going on now, nobody's being held accountable for it. And they just let these people into this country illegally. They came into this country illegally, and they didn't pay taxes. They haven't paid into Social Security, but they're getting millions, billions of dollars for these daycares that have no clients. There's no customers at these daycares, but they're getting all this government money. Not to mention their room and board, because we're paying for their housing. We're giving them food stamps. We're giving them free medical care. All of it. All of it. And nobody's being held accountable for this shit. Now, here's my suggestion. All right, number one, we may as well kiss that money goodbye. Okay? Kiss that money goodbye. We're never going to see it. But But we can see part of it in the form of the government needs to go in and seize all of their property. All of the property. The cars, houses, the furnishings in the houses, everything. Seize everything. Leave these people with nothing. Put them on a plane. Yes, we'll foot the bill for the plane. Okay? We'll foot the bill for the plane. We have to. They're not going to pay for it. We'll foot the bill for the plane, send them back to worst they came from. Never to be seen here again. Send them all back where they came from, including Ilhan Omar and her brother/husband. Send them back to where they came from. That's it. But we've got all their property. We see, like I say, we seize it, we auction it off, whatever, you know. But like I say, we're never going to see that money again. They've already sent it back home. They've sent it to the terrorist organizations that they love so much. Let them go over there to live with them. Okay? That's how I see it. You know? And when the midterms come, you know, these fucking Republicans and Democrats, they haven't even started to work on the budget. They haven't even started working on the budget. We're looking at another government shutdown because they haven't even started looking at the budget. Why are we paying these politicians hundreds of thousands of dollars a year each to do nothing, sit on their ass in Washington? It's ridiculous. And Democrats, I got to thinking about this today. You know, I got to think of Bill Gates, Steve Jobs when he was alive, Warren Buffett. Okay, this is Mark Cuban. That's 4 billionaire Democrats. Now, the reason I say this, the Democrat Party, the Democrats want to tax the shit out of the 1%, right? The upper 1% of our society. Why are these billionaires, I mean, these are the richest guys in the country, why are they members of the Democrat Party? Somebody explain that to me. I mean, I'm not the brightest bulb on the tree, I'm not a financier, but why would a billionaire welcome more taxes for himself or herself? Why? Why do all the multi-millionaire celebrities that are in the Democrat Party, why would they want more taxes, higher taxes? Ask yourself this. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you don't want to give up more of your money, do you? Because the Democrat Party, that's what they want to do. They want higher taxes and they want more social programs. And they want to tax the shit out of the upper 1%. But you have to ask yourself, why does the upper 1%, why would the upper 1% want to be a member of the party that wants to tax them to death? They want over half of what they have. It doesn't add up. You have to ask yourself the logic in this. I can't answer the question. I don't know. But it's something that occurred to me today. There's got to be some reason, right? There has to be a reason. Anyway, those are some things to ponder for you. Have a great day. Be safe.